My name's Robert Burrows. I'm 76 years of age. I was born on the Isle of Dogs in East London. My grandmother, on my mother's side, lived with us. It was just mum, dad, my sister and my brother. And we got on great. Or we got to the park, the Island Gardens. They had a recreation area there, which we used to play in. We were a very close-knit family, and whilst in Kent, my brother and I were working in London most of the time then, and we shared a flat. We rented a flat before we then moved to Sussex, and then he sort of drifted away with his own family, his own house. We saw him once every 2 or 3 months. But here he is with my mother. This was taken in the house in Hurstby Point. This was just before she was taken into the home, into care. And then that was when things started to go awry, when Mum died. Nina and I and my son and daughter were in the house one Sunday afternoon. John came over with a piece of paper saying it was very urgent that we sign it. I just took a quick glance at it, signed it, gave it back to him because he had said he had to get back home quickly. It turns out that, in fact, that piece of paper was generated to take away all my rights to any part of the house, despite the fact that I'd bought half of the house from my parents. And in collaboration with my sister, they forced us to pay rent for the half of the house that I didn't own. And the only way we could do it was to sell the house. But they dictated the price that we had to take for the house, so that they got their share of the money. And the only way we could afford a house after that was to come up here into Yorkshire. Things got I got rather angry naturally and upset because I was losing a really good house in an area that I loved. I was taken away from things I loved doing, like working amateur theatre, working on railway restoration. Affecting me, I mean, I lost the biggest interest I had outside the family, which was this theatre, and introduced a great feeling of depression, anger. My wife, she was quite upset about it, but was eventually resigned to the fact that we just had to move away. The children, they lost their school that they were going to. They had to start again afresh, which is very, very difficult for children of young age. This is Idenhurst, where I used to live. It was really nice. It was a little community all on its own. Really pleasant to be with. Everyone knew everybody. And it was full of happy memories. And to see it now is really bringing a lump to my throat. It's unbelievable. Then in 2015, I had an email from my niece asking if I wanted to know anything about him. By that time I'd calmed down a bit. And I said yes, I want to know, because I've got pictures of him with the rest of the family on the wall over there. She told me that he developed pancreatic cancer, and 3 months later he was dead. Initially, I thought God's getting his own back, but at the same time, I felt sorry for him. I really did feel sorry for him. To some extent, I regret being so anti. I think it was quite natural for me to be a bit upset. I would have liked to just said, it's part of a peaceful farewell for him, maybe. Not necessarily it's all over, but just sorry to hear about it, John. I hope it's not too painful when you go.